So what we do, so imagine, again, there's rubber hoses, right? And if I'm dormant, I've been seated, like this is perfect for when I get off of a plane. Because off of a plane, where does all the blood start to pool? And then it pools down here, and what's the problem with that? It stops moving. Stagnant flow. If you're in nature, and there's a pond, and there's static, it's just static, there's no water flowing through it, what happens to it? Algae. It becomes, there's algae, and there's bacteria, and it just becomes gross, right? To keep it healthy, to keep it drinkable, what has to happen? You got to keep water flowing through it. So what's happening slowly is disease in the lower leg. So you need to keep fluid moving through it. And that way new fluid can come in with new nutrients. All the waste that gets built up gets to be pushed back into the body so it can be recycled or eliminated. So that's the intent behind this. So I go around the foot, right? And Kelly Starrett has this depicted in his book. And I just want you to rock right and left and kind of get a sensation of like, okay, how far can you wiggle your butt left and right? So I go to my right, and it's like, my butt, like it's just stuck, right? And then when you go to the left, left one's not as bad, right? So I want you to self-identify. How are my hips moving sideways? Pick up your Viper, neutral grip, and now we do the same thing. Client gets, and that would be like level 1. The next level is you ask your client to push into you at different angles. Can I have you back up again? So let's say this is set number 2, or maybe for some of our clients, this is like the next workout, right? This depends on how fast they can progress. All right, so here, keep going for 3 seconds. 2, 1, perfect, awesome. Keep the foot, same foot. Come on, let's go, right? Same foot? Same foot, same foot. Now this side. Okay, a little quicker transition now. Ready? Good. Go. Oh, that's it, buddy. Knock me down. 3, 2, 1, switch sides. No, not the feet. Go.
Teoricamente é tu poderes introduzir até uma força, né? How was day 1?
Day 1 was phenomenal. Day 1 was worth coming here. Just day 1.
What did you learn?
About how to design programs for my clients in a way that it's a total 360-degree approach to training. Not anymore one way or two way. It's everything into consideration. Very priceless demand.
That the body doesn't like. It's a lot of inflammation. This tissue is now what? Dehydrated. So it's a different kind of stiff. It's a brittle stiff, where it's, if I pull on it, it might do what? It might tear. Does this information go to the brain? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what does the brain do? This can't stretch. If that can't stretch, who has to do more of the stretching and shortening? Muscle. So now what happens? Who's spending more energy to run? This guy. Do I develop faulty movement patterns because now my muscle's doing most of the work and my ligaments and tendons aren't? So I might argue that because of the state of the tissue, that might create the compensatory effects of the body, not that the brain doesn't know how to run. I think the brain's just saying, hey, this is in poor health, so we have to use more of this to get the job done. And so now the person is going to tire out faster, and there's now more wear and tear on this because it's still being pulled, but the problem is it's in a state where it's not healthy.
Yeah. So that's why a warm-up or mobilizers or whatever are very important.
You got it. Hydrate this tissue.
How did you like day 2 so far?
Very nice. It's more in depth. Yesterday was interesting, but now we're going more in depth. I find it very educational, and that was what I wanted to know more. So for me, it's very interesting.
Do you have any benefits to this as a personal trainer?
Yes, I think so very much. Especially for the 4Q programming, I think that will be what I take home the most from this.
Okay. So new stuff to do with your clients.
Yes, definitely. They will feel the consequences.
On the pubic symphysis, to create a little space there, and then relax. Squeeze, relax. Okay? Nothing too hard. It's just about subtle mobility. It's super subtle. That's the hard part. But guess what happens when you get up? You're like, oh, actually start to move a little bit freer as a result. Okay? Give those 3 a shot with your partner.
What did you think about day 2 of the mentorship so far?
Well, so far I think it's again a lot better than yesterday, which was great. We've done some talking about fascia and the neuro facets of it, and it's just really interesting and mind-blowing as well. It's a whole new view on things.
How will this affect the way you train people?
Well, it'll affect everything from the warming up to the last exercise. It's a different way of coming to terms with how we should move and how we are moving now, and what materials we use, in what plane of motion, with what contraction. It's a totally different system compared to traditional training.
Right? So I'm just going to all the knuckles, and I'm like pushing here, and it's not really moving. Right? So if I push on this, I should see the toes move. Right? So already I'm kind of getting an indication, all right, maybe the forefoot here, there needs to be more space within this.
Before her races, if she wants to.
Is this whole body strength and conditioning, or are we doing some particular area of the body?
No, we're localizing it's all body. Of course, our main thing is the running inside, because her objective is to run this short distances. So our objective is really total body for running.
Okay.
Yes.
Great.
So what